fellow booktubers. My name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today we are doing the Creatures of the Night book tag. And this tag was created by Catty-tastic, and I was tagged by Wizarding World of Books, so I'll leave both of their channels down below. I've kind of been holding off on doing this tag just because I know that I have not yet read about all of these creatures, but I'm going to go ahead and do this tag today. And if I have not yet read about the creature, then I will just pick a book that I plan on reading eventually. And so for the first creature of the night, we have vampires, and for that I chose Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. I really enjoy how vampires are portrayed within these novels. We have the Moroi, which are good vampires, and then we have the Strigoi, which are very, very messed up vampires. And for the most part, Moroi seem like normal people, except for the fact that they have special vampire powers. Like, they all have one element that they control, like wind, or fire, or earth, or water. It's just more than you think about whenever you think of vampire. You don't think about them having special powers, but it's really cool that they do in the series. There are also people called Dhampires, and they have a mixture of vampire and human blood. And so the two main characters that we follow in this book are Rose, who is a Dhampire, and then her best friend Lissa, who is a Moroi. I really enjoy this series overall because it's like a perfect combination of fantasy and contemporary, and I just love that about this series. For the second creature, we have werewolves, and for that I picked The Twilight Saga by Stephanie Meyer, but mostly within New Moon because Jacob is obviously a werewolf. I just really enjoyed this book because he is mainly featured in this one more than the other ones. I'm not a huge fan of Twilight, but overall I enjoyed the series. At first I was mostly Team Edward, but then after I saw this movie I felt like I was more Team Jacob, just because I really enjoy the aspect of werewolves within the Twilight series. Technically they just seem like your everyday shapeshifter, which isn't really an everyday thing, but I enjoy how the werewolves are portrayed overall within these novels. It's not like a power that they can't control that just comes out whenever the full moon is out or something like that. In times of danger or things like that, it can just turn into a werewolf and help people, and that's really awesome. And also werewolves within these novels are Indian, and I'm also Native American, and so I just kind of feel a bond with these werewolves. The third creature is zombies. I have not yet read any books about zombies, but one that I'm really looking forward to reading is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I've seen this movie twice and I absolutely love it. All of these zombies aren't just out for the kill all of the time. And then we have one of our main characters named R. And he's a zombie, but he falls in love with this girl who is a human. And I've heard that the book is even better than the movie, and I love the movie, so I can't wait to read this book. I just love the fact that within the Warm Bodies world, these zombies can be cured by love, and obviously that seems like a very cliche thing, and it is, but I just love that all these zombies need is love, and that's just a really awesome way to be cured by something. Next up we have ghosts, and I have not yet read very many books about ghosts, but I'll consider this one just because they are ghosts to the current characters within the book. And these ghosts are from City of Dark Magic by Magnus Flack. In this book, if you take a certain type of pill, then you can see what's happened in the area that you're at like hundreds of years ago. And so whenever the main protagonist named Sarah goes off to Prague and she takes this pill, she actually sees Beethoven. And obviously Beethoven has not been around for a very, very long time, but she gets to see someone who is just so inspirational within her life. And the awesome thing about these ghosts is it's like history is playing out before her very eyes. She gets to see what happened hundreds of years ago in the very spot that she's standing in, whenever Beethoven is actually composing his music for the first time, and just amazing things like that. So you could actually view this two ways. Maybe Beethoven is a ghost, but maybe Sarah is the ghost within Beethoven's world. Next up we have witch slash warlock slash spellcaster, and for this I'm just gonna go with the obvious choice of The Wizarding World of Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. It's just that the experience of these books is just so imprinted upon your mind and how magic just plays out just within this beautifully made world. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever read a series that has a better form of witches and warlocks, because this is just such an amazing series. If you have not yet read it yet, then definitely go ahead and read this series because it is amazing. I can't even tell you how amazing it is. It's obviously a very overhyped series, but the hype is well deserved. Next up we have fairy slash fae, and I've only encountered fae in a few books, but they're usually pretty awful people, and they're not there to help you whatsoever. But within the Throne of Glass series, they're actually very, very awesome. They even have magic of their own. And obviously I'm holding up Air of Fire, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, so obviously I can't really tell you anything about the fae within these books, except to read these books to figure out how awesome these fae are. Fae are very powerful people magical, but within the country of Aurelia, magic has disappeared completely, and so these fae cannot live there. If the fae could, obviously they could take over everything, because that is exactly how powerful they are. Obviously there are still some bad fae, but the good fae are really awesome, and they just have this amazing magical element to them as well. For both demons and angels, I'm going to use the same series, and that is the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare, because I feel like with demons there have to be angels. They just go together because obviously demons are a very powerful source, and so they have to have a very powerful source to contradict them. But there are just so many varieties of demons within the Mortal Instrument series. It is just crazy how many there are and how their shapes change, that you can really picture these monsters within your head. And then we have angels, and I just love how they portray angels within this book because it's different than you imagine what angels would be like. These angels are bitter and they're not very pleased with humanity whatsoever. They want humanity to fight their own battles, and so they are very, very upset whenever Shadowhunters ask for favors, which they sometimes have to do in order to save the world, which doesn't really matter that much to the angels because they're just very cynical within these books. And it's just very ironic to view angels like that. And next up we have Aliens, which I have read absolutely no books about, but I know a series that I definitely want to read very, very soon. I've just heard amazing things about this book, and it is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. And these aliens seem super scary. They're trying to take over the world, and it is working very, very well for them. This is like the apocalypse in alien form, and it just sounds so scary. These aliens are attacking humanity in waves, and this book is obviously about the fifth wave, or that is where it starts. And I am very excited to read this story because I've never read about aliens, and I just think that that's a very interesting concept. Next up we have superpowered humans, and I have not yet read very many books about superpowered humans either, but I have read quite a few about superpowered demigods, so I'm going to go with the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. And the powers that these kids have are just awesome. Some can control fire, some can charm people with their words, some can control water, just crazy awesome things like that, and it just fits so well within the series, especially since these kids that are my age are trying to battle giants. I'm currently reading this series, and I just love the fact that these demigods have these very special powers. I would love to hear what your favorite creature of the night is down below, and I'm not going to tag anyone specifically for this tag. I feel like so many people have done it already, so I'll just tag all of you. Whoever wants to do it, go ahead and do this tag. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm going to go get back to reading.